And I also want to mention in the Global Agenda Council that I was a member of Davos, in the AI age, what kind of 3 competencies do we need in order to survive the age of AI? And this discussion has already happened in this council. And that's creativity, hospitality, and management skills. If you have those skills or competencies, you will be able to survive the age of AI. That was the shared agreement among those experts. And about this creativity, I want to go back to what I have just discussed. For example, if in the age of AI, you have to have a very good creativity, and if it's a very grandiose one, like being a developer of a new computer program or completely new technology, that's not for everyone. So what is the easiest creativity that you can acquire? That's the management skill of collective wisdom. The easiest example is Mr. Suzuki. Mr. Suzuki is an indispensable person in meetings who can derive the other people's ideas. Those are the easiest creativity you can acquire. And I also still midway, but I have been learning this skill in the think tank. And one more thing that I want to talk about is a collaboration skill I just mentioned earlier. And what is the most important collaboration skill? That's also clear. That's the skill to collaborate with people with other expertise. We call this cross-functional collaboration skill. For example, collaboration between Mr. Tanaka and Mr. Suzuki is a collaboration within the organization or within the same function. Collaboration between 2 salespeople is a collaboration within the department. What's important is a collaboration across the fields or expertise. And it has always been important, actually, because all the projects are implemented by people with different expertise or different industry. For example, I have published a lot of books. But in order to do so, I need to work with an editor or marketing people, or also people who does a website job. So those kind of people work together to accomplish a project. So that's a very basic fact. If you are only working in solitude in one field of expertise, your success will be limited. So this is a cross-functional collaboration, cross-industrial collaboration, or cross-cultural collaboration. If you go across the national border. And in our school, we call this crossover skill. And then let's move on to discuss. Maybe you were thinking about this, and that would be great if you do, having listened to my speech for the last 30-40 minutes. So your question may be, what do we have to do to acquire those skills? And there's a clear answer to this question too. In order to acquire those skills, and also in order to make sure the students and your subordinates acquire those skills, we have to use the reflection technique. I will come back to this later to discuss details, and we use this on our students as well in our school. This is a technique of looking back or doing hansei in Japanese, like creating works or doing presentation, that's a professional experiences, or having meetings with customers, that's interpersonal experience, or team activities, that's organizational experiences. After those experiences, you want to come back and revisit those experiences instead of just calling it a day and going home. Let's look back the last meeting we just had with customers. So you want to go do this. And in my book, I say the reflection meeting. Even if it's a short time, like 5 minutes, you want to revisit the last meeting with customers and what went wrong, what went good. And also, I write in my book, professionals grow midnight, which means that because those good professionals write a diary to do reflection before going to bed. I also have a pile of notebooks that I used as a diary. So what do you look back? So what went wrong in your presentation, in your work, or in our meeting with customers, or in our team activities? By doing so, you can speed up the process of growth. I wrote this book on this theme, if you're interested. By doing this technique and making it a habit, you can speed up the process of growth by at least 3 times faster. And I don't explain why 3 times faster, but I have a clear reason behind that. And now, I want to talk about what are the requirements of human capital in this coming age. In the society, there is a 5-step growth. As you walk up these steps, you will not be pushed out of the labor market in this coming age of AI. The first growth step is, first of all, when you graduate school, you have some kind of expertise or professional knowledge. For example, if you are a legal professional, you graduate legal department, law school, and by exam, and you have a legal expertise. However, you don't want to stop there. You want to keep learning to become an expert, real expert. And I call this growth from knowledge worker or intellectual worker to cutting-edge expert. You don't want to dwell on being a knowledge worker. And what is the second step? So after the first step, you want to keep going. And this is the skill to collaborate with people with other expertise. You being an expert on one field is great, but you also have to learn to collaborate with other experts. So this is a growth from cutting-edge expert to crossover expert. This is also the original term that we use in our school. And the third growth step is a step up from the person who can collaborate with other experts to a person who can manage a project. So this is a growth from crossover expert to a project leader. And what's the fourth step? So there is one more step or 2 more steps. Now you are a person who can manage the cross-functional or cross-industrial project. And that's great. But now, in this innovation age, you want to be able to lead the innovative project. So this is a growth from a project leader to innovation leader. And the fifth step, this is a growth from the innovation leader to business creator. Being an innovation leader is great. However, you want to be able to create a new business. So I think you understand now those 5 steps. And now the education is changing according to these requirements. It is important that the 21st century education supports these growth steps. Whatever the school is, those 5 steps need to be supported by those schools. Otherwise, the schools are not doing their job. Of course, liberal arts is a popular major, and I'm not saying those are bad, those are good itself, but if the students want to be valued in the business world right after graduating from school, those growth steps needs to be supported by school. And then there are schools like that. One example is Kamiyama Marugoto Kosen, or Kamiyama Educational Institute in English. This is a 5-year high school, and students who come to this school, who attend this school, already knows that they want to become a business leader. And we learn a lot from this school. But what is greater is Minerva University. They connect big cities online, like Buenos Aires, London, and Taiwan. They do workshops in those cities. And those are online. And also they provide hands-on experiences. And those two will have a good affinity in the coming age. Whatever that is accessible online will be provided online, and at the same time there will be some hands-on experiences only locally available. And I like their slogan. Their slogan is City as Campus. And we are learning from those schools to reform our school curriculum.